like what can I do to get up there? So like even with this person, I think I know what you're saying is, can you give me an example of a challenging question? Like, are you saying things like, so you've never done anything great in your life before? Is that an example of a challenging question? Like, or is it based on the context that they're talking about?
Yeah. It is based on the context.
It's like,
but there's a reason why you were sinking. The clues are in what was sinking you.
Just the constant negativity and the self-victimization to the point where, why am I listening?
Yeah, but hang on a minute. They were being extreme on everything's all bad.
Yeah, correct.
All right?
Correct.
That's not sustainable. That's not based on truth. And you're letting them get away with it.
Because I'm not challenging their...
You tap out. Because you're not allowed to defend them. You're operating with weird ideas. In other words, you became a victim.
Damn.
You became a victim to their victim identity. You go, you know what? I'll be the victim identity that has to ghost you.
Damn.
And that goes against your heart. That's not your character.
And then you feel guilty.
That's just you coping.
And then you feel guilty and then you cut off from them.
I know. Because who likes guilt? I don't like guilt. It's shitty.
Yeah, and then every time you feel that person's there, you're reminded of how guilty you are for not doing... So you self-victimize and then you guilt trip yourself and then you cut that person off because you didn't challenge that person. You didn't draw your boundaries. Oh my God.
So we just experienced a fractal right then.
Right.
You and I just had a moment of reflection of how I can be to you what you could be to them.
Yes.
Did I not hold the space?
You did.
And I made you feel uncomfortable to defend your way of being.
Yeah.
But did I not validate your journey and make sure you didn't feel judged?
Yes, correct. You did all of that.
Even though you were judging yourself a little bit. And just me saying you were judging yourself, well, then I'm wiser than you in that moment because I'm wise enough to know not to judge you because you deserve to have journey.
Man, this is like a skill. It's like a trained skill, with self-awareness, I can notice it, but then the question now is, what do I ask? Maybe the pocket coach can help me. What do I do in this situation?
I know, but the thing is, what you're doing is that, once again, the trap is, where is the tactic? Where is the hammer I can reach for to make it easy to, nail that problem?
Right, it's not the feeling.
Yeah, what you're doing is you're underestimating how you will reach for the right tools so intuitively as soon as you understand the problem properly.
Got it.
Please know that while we can talk about tactics and ideas of how to give feedback well, the ego will always want to grab those tools top down and it loses its depth.
I see what you're saying.
Or intuition.
I see what you're saying. So then would the right question be, when I feel so down, it's like, why is this not true?
That's pretty good.
You know what I mean? Because this is definitely, it's hurting me so badly to hear this person say, so then why is this not true? And I think from that feeling, then I can reach for.
Yeah. Or even like, how does this person hold on to an extreme view and maintain it, causing accidental, consistent self-harm?
That's a dangerous question because I know, and there was one person that recently did that, nothing to do with work, but this person, and that my wife said, how is this person? Exactly what you said. I said, because she's dumb.
Yeah. And that's the shortcut because if we're going to be lazy and not go into the detail,
I know what you're saying.
The treasure is in the detail, not the label. The ADHD label. Oh, he just has ADHD.
Yeah.
He's just dumb. Oh, he's just manic depressant. He's just, you know what labels do? They invite the brain to stop critically thinking.
Yeah, you're right.
There's nothing else to see here. We've told you what it means. This person's just this way.
Dumb.
It's like a freaking magician's trick.
It is.
Isn't it? It's snake oil salesman. It's like, this person is just this. What about his neuroplasticity and how he has epigenetics to regulate his genes to become anything he wants to be? No, that does not apply to him. He's just frozen into one way to be indefinitely.
Yeah, he's
flawed by the universe. That's a big bully.
At birth.
the universe chose to bully him
Yeah.
or
I get
her.
what you're saying.
Like, come on, what kind of a world are we living in where we are so malleable to be anything and we have to be put under a spell that we're dysfunctional and weak and frozen into that dysfunction?
I really want to explore this now. You really got me thinking now.
Because leadership is about what do we need to change in how we're being to get to where we want to go. So if you can't embrace the malleability of your team and how they can learn and learn in timely ways and learn how to learn. You see, I think that the true fractal of a leader is how do you teach people how to learn? How do you restore their personal agency so that if they don't know something, they don't run to the expert to the answer without them connecting to the details themselves and feeling into it first? Because I say this a lot, and I love Albert Einstein, because when he was interviewed, they said to him, you know, you're so smart, you're a genius of our time, blah, blah, blah. By the way, apparently he's got a smaller brain than the average person when they did the, autopsy. But it turns out he had more glial cells in his brain than the average person. Now, glial cells are the little cells that guide the neuron to make the connection with the neuron for a desire to understand relationship and
Really?
make a powerful assumption. Right? So, you wonder why intuitively you have a lot of things you're thinking about, but you're trying to understand a unified theory or why something integrates for function. And suddenly you have those pop moments. It's when those neurons travel. Now, think about it, 100 billion neuron cells. You can have one cell in one part of your brain, one cell in the other. In step one, I explain this.
Yes.
They will traverse the entire circuitry of your dense neurons, 100 billion, to make a connection. Albert Einstein had more glial cells than the average person that guided meaningful connections for understanding. Now, glial cells, once again, get manufactured because your brain is given an environment where it's told it needs more glial cells.
Right.
So then let's bring this full circle for a second. What true value is in knowing what ideas belong together. And if you have a philosophy that says, what assumptions am I currently holding on to that are giving me blind spots? And what new assumptions are going to set me free? And if you trade on that as the gold, right? You will tap into your malleability, you will heighten your neuroplasticity, and glial cells will be needed to facilitate that function, which means theoretically you can boost your glial cells by intention. A worldview shift of my entire world comes down to my assumptions. And I was raised to form a lot of assumptions. A lot of them are good, right? But enough of them are blocking me creating glass ceilings for my growth. So I have to be an assumptions
challenger.
An exchange merchant.
Exchange merchant.
Exchange the wrong assumptions to better assumptions. And by you locking that in as a non-negotiable philosophy, it restores your humility, it heightens your curiosity, it then gives purpose to the process of critical thinking, to sit with something and collect how it all interconnects, to expose your assumptions that don't marry up with your environment. So what I'm saying to you, bringing this to full circle, is that the power comes into that process, right? But you need a philosophy underneath it to hold on to give meaning, to change the way you operate.
Yeah. Wow, that's a lot to...
But the thing is, you can rewind this and...
watch it.
But look, it's the first time I've explained right now, it's the first time I've ever explained how you can actually increase your glial cells in your brain. I've never explained it before. It just came to me because I'm playing off, everything is about function. Mm-hmm. Our biology responds to purpose.
Yeah.
Right? Any protein being manufactured in your body is because your brain thinks it's relevant, including how your brain prioritizes its own neurons, what they connect to, and whether you need a lot of connections in your life. Hence, glial cells have to be increased.
Man, you really got me thinking about I'm just listing down all of my assumptions that make me feel a certain way, and I'm going.
But you know what happens? You know what happens, Azlan, is that when we think we've reached a high level and we can't conceive the next level, we stagnate. Mm-hmm. Our growth starts to plateau.
Yeah.
What's happened accidentally, but maybe because we're both passionate about deep diving into concepts, is that you're experiencing a reset where you're being humbled again to go, oh my gosh, look at the stairs I have to climb. Mm. But you see, what happens to Azlan when he realizes he's at the bottom of the stairs of something?
I'll be climbing. I'll be making my climb straight up.
Exactly. Which means that part of you that you were raised with is ready to serve.
Yes.
You just needed the purpose to believe you have a lot to learn again.
Ooh, you're right.
Right?
Right.
Because I've been humbled many times in the same way. I remember once sitting in a course and I remember thinking, I've read a few books around why I'm here and I've pretty much joined most of the dots. And I think they're going to discover how good I am soon.
Why did you even apply for that course? I mean,